Let's begin with a quick review. Procrastination is an irrational delay, and the longer it takes to receive a reward, the more likely you'll procrastinate. In the previous video, we went over how a delay in a reward led to procrastination. In that case, not getting paid for 28 days led you to keep pushing back the starting date for the garden project. Admittedly, not your best moment, but we've all been there. Let's consider some more examples of how the delay factor contributes to putting things off. There's the big school project due at the end of the term. It may be worth 80% of your grade, but it's not due for 3 months, so you can get to it later. Upskilling classes that are required for a promotion. It's going to take at least a year to get through that material, and there's a lot of things you could be doing over that course of time. The marathon that you've always wanted to run. It's January, and the marathon isn't till August, so you have plenty of time to train. Until you don't. When the reward is far into the future, there is a tendency to procrastinate. Now, there are some people who are good at setting long-term goals and then methodically doing the work to reach these goals. Is there a secret to their success? There's no secret. If you want to achieve a long-term goal, 2 things are absolutely necessary. Chunk out the big project into a series of small projects. We've already covered the idea of chunking things out. In fact, one of the procrastination videos is called Chunk It Out. So you should be familiar with the idea of taking a big project and dividing it into small, doable projects. The other thing you need to do is control impulsive behavior. The more impulsive you are, the more you will procrastinate. If we are going to talk about the role of the impulsiveness factor in procrastination, we first must define the term. Impulsive, showing behavior in which you do things suddenly without planning and without considering the effects they may have. Let's go over some familiar examples of impulsive behavior. You finally start working on the big essay that is due in 2 weeks. But then a friend calls and tells you he's at the pub with the fellas and there's a pint waiting for you. And you tell your friend, yeah, I'll be down there in a few minutes. You have a big gardening project to work on, but then you get offered an invitation to go tubing on the river. And soon thereafter, you're floating in the cool water on a sunny day. You decide to get an online degree, but every time you sit down to work, you get a phone call, a text, or you just get bored and you look up a funny video clip. In each one of these cases, there was a tug-of-war between the short-term reward and the long-term reward. And when you choose the short-term reward, impulsiveness is the winner. Whenever there's something to do, impulsiveness comes into play. But when there's a reward in the distant future, impulsiveness will come knocking day in and day out. You have to learn to ignore it.